What's up? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Miami fans of all ages? It's not clock blockers. It is 8 o'clock, but it's 8 p.m. It's 8 p.m. And you know what there is? There's no swear jar. No swear jar, ladies and gentlemen. None of that. So if you got the kids and you don't like to listen to swear, this ain't the show for them. It's the Miami Sports Music Power Hour. I'm your host, Stephen D., network director, whatever you want to call it, of Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, and I'm super excited about doing this show with you tonight. So let's get started right into the nitty-gritty. I do want to remind you all, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button, share, give me the thumbs up. Come on, I can't do this without y'all. Hit the like button. Let's go. We got a lot to do tonight. We got a small amount of time to do it in. Okay, so my first person, my co-host for this evening, plural S. Okay, first person I'm gonna bring on. He was actually, he's always on the morning show all the time. You know him, you love him. He's a big part of Miami sports music. Cameron, what is up, Cameron?
Hey, I was gonna say good morning, but it's good
evening. I know,
What's
man.
up,
It's so
Stephen D?
weird. It's so weird. I'm super excited about this, man. And driving right now, not in his studio right now, but we're not going to look. He's helping a friend, and that's the type of guy he is, and we love him for it. And we're super excited that he's going to become part of the show each and every Tuesday. He's a big part of the direction that we are in right now. Everything that you have seen, a big part of that. A lot of these ideas not only come from myself and Cameron, but this man first, Jamie Bahamas. What's up, Jamie?
What's up, man? You give me too much credit. You know you are Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, right? You're trying to figure what you are. You are that guy.
I try. I'm not over here saving people's lives and driving and doing a podcast at the same time. You're a miracle man. You're doing God's work, bro.
Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do.
And coming up here in a little bit, as soon as he gets on, you know he's late as usual. He's late for everything, and I don't mind calling him out because he's my brother from another mother. The Honorable SoLo D will be up here in a few, and we'll have him on as well. But before we get started, let's kind of go around the room real quick and just kind of talk about the excitement of the future of this show, and just introduce yourselves a little bit more. We'll start with Cameron.
Hey, man. I mean, listen, I appreciate you having me on, Stephen, and being a part of this team of Miami Sports Music. And, I am, as Stephen said, along with Jamie, kind of in the background, steering, advising, doing whatever I can, guest hosting with Stephen sometimes, and I enjoy it as well. So I appreciate the opportunity, Stephen, to give me a little voice here in the YouTube universe. But it's good stuff, man. East 32 Dolphins tailgate is in the house.
You guys are family, man, and East 32 is so awesome because, I started this network as a fan to start a network made by the fans for the fans, and somebody who represents that clear cut each and every single home game is East 32. And I love what you guys do.
Man, I appreciate that. And hey, in this upcoming season, I mean, listen, we say we're growing and getting bigger and better every year. We're going to be taking East 32 on the road. I've got big plans, potential plans for the home games this year, and it's gonna be fun, man. We're always
and Baltimore too. We got some big stuff here in Baltimore, so that'll be a lot of fun too.
Baltimore, San Fran, LA, Chicago, SoLo D's in the house. Let's go.
All right, Jamie. Actually, before I bring Jamie on, let me bring in the man, the myth, the legend. Y'all love him. He's got his little studio background behind him. Look, he's late as usual, but it is what it is. The honorable SoLo D. What's up, SoLo?
Yeah, what's going on, Steve? How you doing, man?
How you living, sir?
Man, I'm trying to live up to that intro you just gave me, man. I don't even think I'm all that, man.
What's up, SoLo?
What's up, Cam?
I see you grab that pillow. You're about to smother Steven here.
No.
Trust me, he's wanted to do that more than a few times.
Check out the background though, but I did.
Dude, I like that. That is fire, man.
We're gonna go orange for the night. Let's just go solid orange, right? But this is like pre-construction. You know what I mean? We still got a lot more to do. So stay tuned, and it's gonna go down.
SoLo D, why have you talking? We're introducing ourselves. Just obviously you've seen where the podcast network has come and go over the last 6 months, and just your music and the future of the DWA brand that I'm repping right now. just tell me, man, what you've been doing for the last few months and where you think the future of Miami sports music is headed.
Man, I've just been pretty much sitting on the couch drinking Hennessy, eating noodles and quesadillas, man. Like, I love to tell y'all a grand story, but I ain't been doing nothing, bro. Like, no, just playing. So, Miami sports music, man, I think is in it's in awesome hands right now, man. I actually didn't know anything about this show until like 3 hours ago.
You did know it. You just didn't look and wasn't a part of anything.
I don't think you told me, bro. Yeah, they don't include me, y'all. You know what I mean? But listen, this is the thing. I want Jamie to show his face. You know what I mean? Because I think it's very important that everybody gets to
Jamie's driving. Guess who's not in the studio? It's not SoLo. It's Jamie today.
Oh no, we need Jamie. We need Jamie in that light, bro, so we can see.
I'll be there soon, man.
Up his head. Jamie, you gotta hurry up and get home, bro.
Yeah,
that's part of your brand, bro. They need to see your head shining.
Speaking of head shining, man. Jamie Bahamas. Jamie, you've been a part of this industry for a few years now, doing a lot of writing. You do a lot of content for 305sports.net. Shout out to them. And you obviously have had your own podcast and talking about them Dolphins. And you've been a big part of the success of this podcast network. And now you're going to be doing the show each and every Tuesday with us. Just tell me what's going on with you and the excitement of the future of Miami sports music.
Yeah, so man, it's been fun. We behind the scenes making it work and just enjoying all the greatness and all the cool stuff you've been bringing. But I'm telling you, man, I watch your show daily, and I got a little bit jealous. I wanted to get a part of that fun and some of that action, right? And I'm glad you brought me on without the swear jar, because I can't promise.
Yeah, there's no swear jar for this show. Just so y'all know, you can cuss on this show. But donations are greatly appreciated.
Well, you know what? I think you got to send the collection man out for some people, man, because your show in the morning now be wilding out, man. So.
Yeah, they be going.
It do be crazy.
Who keeps up with it? Who keeps up with how many people curse?
Well, I think that would be OG, triple OG. Who's the OG of the chat group, Cameron?
Oh, Andrevius or maybe Chef Jew. I think
Chef Jew. Chef Jew is
the OG.
Is the OG there.
Both of them solid.
I think you need one of the behind the scene ideas that we're gonna bring up is I think you need an on-screen counter, man. You need that cash jar shown on the screen with people over, man.
All right. First thing let's get right into it. So we all are going to kind of pick a topic today, and we're going to talk about it individually. Normally we'll lead you into our next show, which is Hellfins. Hellfins actually will not be on tonight. There's a family emergency going on.
Lo siento, mi gente.
They're cool. They're good. They're not going to be on tonight, but they will be back on next week at 9 p.m. But that's all right.
Próximo semana.
Hey, Solo, ¿qué tú sabes de español? ¿Tú hablas español, man? ¿Qué?
Sí.
No habla español. I don't know how to speak Spanish.
No habla. Se habla poquito español. And Hellfins.
They're great.
El próximo semana, okay? Next
week.
Hey,
Steven, pull this shit in, man. People can tune in right now and be like, "The fuck they listening to, man?"
What are they talking about? They're talking Spanish. No idea. Let's get into the first topic of the night. The first topic of the night was a big breaking news. I believe it was today, or it might have been yesterday. But it has to do with the guy on the bottom right of our screen, the Honorable SoLo D, Mr. Turnover Chain himself, where Mario Cristobal has stated there will be no more turnover chain. And so I want to obviously start out with SoLo. Just when you heard this, what were your thoughts about this?
Honestly, man, I kind of been ready for that announcement for years. You know what I mean? It sucks, but I think it will come back. But at the same time, man, it was games where, like, bro, we down 20 points, man. They pulling out the turnover chain. Like, I ain't even care. You know what I mean? Like, they could play a song. I wouldn't even care. But it's a moment in history. You can't take that away, man. You can't take the actual chain away. You definitely can't take the song away. Like, it had a hell of a purpose, and it really can't go anywhere. Everybody followed it. You know what I mean? It's still cemented in history, so I don't take it personally. And
but Solo.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, right, this is hearsay on my part. This might not be actual. I didn't check the sources, but he shitted on it, man. He called it a straight up gimmick. Is that not true?
So I ain't hear that, but I did see like the O-line coach, which those are our coaches now, so we ain't talking down. But I heard him say something like, we're here to play football, there's no gimmicks or something like. Yeah, so
That's
maybe
right.
he did say something like that.
He
I didn't
did
like
say
that.
that.
I felt like that was.
And you know what I don't like about that? You know what I don't like about that?
What's
Gimmicks is a part of the thing, man. Like the Dolphins.
I want to be
Canes are going that
entertained.
way.
I want to be
Yeah,
entertained.
now
That's
the
part of it.
Dolphins keep stripping away. You know, when we were kids or before our time, maybe I think Cameron's older than me, so he might remember. They used to have a live ass dolphin at the stadium, right? I know you can't do shit like
Are
that
you
no
talking
more.
Orange Bowl days?
Yeah,
Look,
right?
that all stopped when Ace Ventura couldn't bring Snowflake back home. Okay.
Hey, but SoLo,
But I mean,
SoLo, tell us what it meant to you personally, man, in your life. You know, like
I
how
mean,
that
yeah.
blew
So
up.
that's what I'm saying for me, and that's why I posted what I posted, man, on Instagram. Man, it's super sentimental on my behalf, man, because like that song changed my life. You know what I mean? Like y'all know, I've been making Dolphins music for years, but nothing hit the height of what Turnover Chain did. You know what I'm saying? And that was like right before. That's the end of 2017. So that's right before I had my second son, who's the one that's gonna keep messing with that door the whole night now. But it was a lot going on, man. I was kind of at a crossroads in life.
Who told
man.
you?
Hold on, real quick. I was like trying to figure out like exactly what direction to go and all that. And I was kind of like getting tired of the Miami sports music thing on the low. And yeah, that song took off, man, and it was crazy. So it's super sentimental on the strength of that. Steve definitely suggested that I make a song about it. That's he's trying to cut me off.
And I'm the one that said it should go Turnover Chain. It should say it 50
He's
million
definitely
times.
lying. Para mentira. Jamie, tell him what that means. So listen, he definitely did not suggest any melody of it at all. But
I want my credits, damn it. I want my song credits.
See, this is how people get caught up right here. Like he's lying right now, live on air, and all his followers probably believe it. But look what I'm saying.
He just signed a check for you.
That's the power of having listenership and viewership. I love it.
But yeah, man, like I said, that changed my life, bro. We went like worldwide with that, man. Millions of views, went viral. A lot of show opportunities. A whole lot came from that, man. That's still, that was still beneficial.
Performing at the Orange Bowl was one of the coolest things that I
did. Yeah, man. Like, I mean, come on, bro. I have, I'm on stage. Like, if you look at the video I posted yesterday, I was on stage with Michael Irvin and Reggie Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Rocking to the Sun, bro. I performed at the school numerous times.
Yep.
Song came
with
through
the band. With the band a few times.
But tell me, SoLo, like, doesn't it feel like special to you? Like that song will be forever linked to you and the you.
Heavy,
like,
definitely.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. And like that's why I posted. That thing on ESPN, they sitting there shouting me out on ESPN, like random people. It was NFL Network.
Peter Schrager.
Good Morning Football.
Exactly. Good Morning Football. NFL games. People caught like a random like Chicago Bears versus Packers game where they had a turnover and one of the announcers. So it didn't even have nothing to do with Miami at that point.
And they said SoLo D on it. I remember that.
Yeah. So it was like it was crazy. But I was like
the audible SoLo D.
Yeah, on Fox. It was NFL on Fox, and it was a Lions-Bengals game or something.
Yeah, something like that. And I think it was Bears. But
you know what I think though? I think now that we got Phillips and Phillips gonna be a star with the Dolphins for many years to come, I say we steal that shit and bring that to the Dolphins.
I wouldn't mind Turnover Chain in South Florida for the Dolphins. That would be dope.
I mean, Turnover Chain ain't going nowhere. Like every school followed it. They all got something.
I know you had the FSU had the turnover purse. Right.
Hey, and just because Coach Cristobal doesn't want around doesn't mean we can't keep it alive, right?
Yeah, come on. Everybody's still gonna be wearing them in the game. Everybody's 100%. Still gonna be wearing the t-shirts. The legacy of it ain't going nowhere. You're still gonna see it at the games and all that. I like what I do like I said, from a football standpoint, because remember, I'm always a fan too. I was kind of prepared. I got mad a few times, bro. It came out and we were down 20 points. You know what I'm saying? So as a football fan, I respect the mentality of what they say. I don't like them dissing it. But I do respect the mentality of like, hey, now let's focus on football, man. Y'all getting too caught up in all, especially you got to kind of, man, what I'm noticing, especially in Miami sports in general, you got to get a grip on your players, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially now these boys getting NIL deals. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Miami, bro. Like win, lose, or draw, you still a superstar. You know what I mean? You're in the best shape of your life. You're playing D1 football. You're playing NFL, whatever the case may be. So I kind of respect that aspect of it in the sense of, let's focus on football. You know what I mean? Let's go back hard because I'm tired of people playing with us. I feel like that we couldn't have beat Alabama, but I think that game could have been a lot closer, and we definitely could have won every other game we lost last year.
Hey,
so
new coach, new regime,
new
coach, new regime, and he's got to put his stamp and foot in the ground, man. Like I understand it and respect it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think when we start balling again, they'll bring it back. You know what I'm saying? But I think right now it's like, nah, we ain't going for that. Like, we'll just look, we got
and you know what? Rightfully so. Mario Cristobal has to come in and put his stamp down on the program and kind of say, all right, look, the old is out, the in is new, and the main goal here is to win football games. And ultimately, as you fans, that's what we want anyway. We want to see W's in the win.
And look, I had a lot of people tag me like when it first came out, but like I said, mentally, I prepared my mind for that the minute Manny got fired. You know what I mean? I was like, that was his shame. He started it. You know what I mean? He was the defensive coordinator. That was his idea.
See, that's risky too, right? I know the coach, called it a gimmick or whatever, right? But when these coaches come in and talk about, oh, it's my way, and we're gonna get rid of the old, and we're not gonna be doing that anymore. We're gonna throw away these things or whatever the case is. If it don't work, right? They look even worse, man. They look like you came in here just trying. They look like Joe Judge in New York. That's what they look like when they come and try to.
Yeah, but Jamie, Jamie, the thing with that is Cristobal came in, I think, for two reasons. Number one, I think he's totally different than Manny, right? And number two, he's good at recruiting. And I think that is something that this program is needed because we haven't been able to.
He wasn't horrible at recruiting. I think Cristobal's going to be better.
But SoLo, when you have guys that play in our own backyard going to play somewhere else in the country and not at the U, there's a problem with that. When a majority of the top programs in the country come to our backyard to pick up players and we can't even recruit them in our own program.
I mean, you compete with Alabama right now. And then look, I'm looking at now y'all don't even get me started on that because that's way deeper than just the coach. You know what I mean? We got to fill that stadium back up, bro. Like I was looking at this top recruit right now, this linebacker. I can't think of his name, but he's supposed to make a decision Tuesday where he wants to go, and it looks like he's leaning toward Florida. And I'm looking at this video Florida put together for him, and I've been in that stadium, in that Gator Stadium, man. Like that's old school Orange Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like
it's crazy. The Gator chop and all of that is unreal.
Yeah, and think about Alabama. Think about all these other schools where the stadium is on campus. You know what I mean? It sells out every time. Like you can't even get seats in there, man. And all you see when you look at Miami games is empty seats. And
that's the problem with Miami. That's the problem with that Miami in general when it comes to football, man. That stadium, is out where it is. Like, so you gotta have a good product. If you don't have a good product or a good 100%. Show, brings me right back to the gimmick.
100%. I think we talked about this, maybe a month ago. Like you can link the steady decline of the U and the football program to when they moved, like when the Orange Bowl got demolished, right?
100%.
And so it's exciting to hear there's proposals and they're moving a little bit further down that road with the city of Coral Gables, and constructing a stadium actually on Coral Gables High. Land there, right down there.
I don't know how that's going to happen. I would love to see how they make
I honestly don't think it will.
That's residential, bro. And like the residents over there, you think they want a stadium over there, bro? Like, come on, man. I'm with it if they do.
Wait, are they talking about that for real? Or is this
for real?
Rumors?
That's part of what Cristobal came with, right? He has a big billionaire donor. That's what he wants to do.
Yeah. So there's two new donors, and one of them has the funding for that stadium. Allegedly. So, that I think that was part of the sell for Cristobal to come down here. So, we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, that makes a difference because I'm telling you, like, all right, so Miami, for people not from Miami, Orange Bowl is in La Havana. You know what I mean? That's the heart of Miami. It's not too far from Coral Gables is 15 minutes away, so that's a bus ride for them, but that's the center of Miami. You know what I mean? Overtown, downtown, all that area, La Havana. You know what I'm saying? Little Haiti, Liberty City, that was the real Miami. So when you used to see the stadium rocking like that, the Orange Bowl, that was the whole city coming out combined with the students. You know what I mean? Pro Player Stadium. Hard Rock Stadium is on the borderline. Literally, the next street over is
Sun Life.
It's County Line. You know what I'm saying? It takes you to Miramar. So it's the top of Miami. It's still Miami, but it's just a difference. You know what I mean? It was a completely different
I know it'll never happen.
The Orange Bowl over.
Yeah, and I know it'll never happen, but like when the Marlins built that new stadium, right? I always was like, man, it'd be so nice if that's where the Dolphin Stadium was too, man. And I know that will never happen. But that's I
Yeah, but
always
see, then
think it's
Broward would be
suspicious.
mad. See, Broward feels of
And they'll be like, they paying for it.
Cap for
Yeah,
Life
yeah,
says. Cap for Life says if you can build a strip club and a Wawa, you can build a stadium for the 5-time champs.
Wait. Is it?
Shout out
It
to
was a
Cap for Life.
Wawa or
That's a good one.
Walmart?
No,
It was a
Same
Wawa.
way.
I
It's a
thought it was a
Walmart.
We got
Walmart.
Wawa's going up everywhere down here right now.
Hey, but listen, like a few years back, the Marlins Stadium, they hosted a college football, bowl game.
Yeah.
Like, why can't, the University of Miami, have
It was
a
weird.
football
We
game there?
played a game there too. The U played FIU in that. Matter of fact, we don't want to bring that up again. But
Oh yeah, that's the brawl game, right?
yeah. They played in that stadium. I think we played. That was the only game we played in there. It wasn't the same, man. But I wish they would have built it so it could have been like that, like the same way we used to share our stadium with the Marlins, and everybody.
Yeah,
was
but
falling in the
Marlins
dirt and
weren't
all that.
going to do that. The Marlins shared a football stadium for forever since their
And
inception.
that stadium is
They
never
wanted their own. They
Big
wanted their
shout
own
out to the
thing.
Marlins. Okay, I love y'all, South Florida sports, all that good stuff. Y'all a legendary team, all that good.
Hey, you know
But
what? I think
that stadium has never filled up all the money they put in it.
that is a good segue. That is a good segue. Let's talk about the Miami Marlins old hitting coach, as well as what was announced today. The Major League Baseball Hall of Fame will be our next topic. Why is this something that I really want to speak into? Because there's a lot of different things to this. Number one, Big Papi David Ortiz announced as a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's very rare. That doesn't happen often. Number two, Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, all of these guys,
Clemens.
Kurt Schilling, none of them. They are not in. They did not get voted in. That was their 10th and final time to try to have a chance to get in.
Ooh.
I can't wait. But you know why? You know why they did that shit
I
to
mean,
them. though.
look,
Come on.
so I'll let Cameron go first because I know
Yeah.
Cameron's got a lot to talk about with this.
So first of all, like let's celebrate the fact that David Ortiz got in, right? Like a first ballot Hall of Famer, like what you said. And I was watching his interview earlier, and he's saying all the right things, and he's super grateful, especially what he went through, being shot in the stomach down there in the Dominican and stuff. He could have lost his life. So, all his life's work went into, building a resume good enough to be a Hall of Famer, and he achieved that. So kudos to Big Papi. And it's unfortunate that so much of the conversation isn't going to be about him, because of the very polarizing subject of performance enhancing drugs and baseball and the decision that some of these baseball writers made, not even to turn in a ballot or vote for Bonds and Clemens, who were, to your point, or fact that this is the 10th and final time that the writers can vote them in. Now, that doesn't mean they can't get in the Hall of Fame. They can go on the old timers, whatever the name for it is, but they have a chance the next 10 years to get on a ballot. There's only 15 people selected, and it's it's there's an opportunity for them still to be in the hall. But my big point is like it's so hypocritical of the Baseball Writers Association to do this, right? Like I can understand. Like I understand. Like if you don't vote for them the first time around, maybe the second time around to prove your point.
Mm-hmm.
But those guys were legitimate Hall of Famers in Bond's case, breaking records, and they were alleged users, right? They never admit it. Neither one of them.
Nah, Cam, don't do that. Don't do that.
Hold on. But let me finish here.
All right.
The point of my statement here is that the baseball writers are so freaking hypocritical because they voted. The baseball writers vote for the MVPs of each league, right? Barry Bonds was voted 7-time MVP in the major leagues.
Yeah.
By the writers. And you're not going to vote him in the Hall of Fame? Get out of here.
Go ahead, Jamie.
So here's the deal, right? First of all, disclaimer, I do not condone cheating, right? Go win fair and square. That's the first of all. But I got to say that before I say this statement. Baseball wasn't baseball during that era without PEDs. Everybody knew it, and it was part of the game, and we enjoyed the hell out of it watching Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire go out and do their
100%.
thing. We enjoyed it. The ratings went through the roof. We lived for it, and we knew what was going on. You take the pictures and look at those dudes. Nobody blows up like that just by working out. We knew what was going on, right? And so, yeah, I get it. I agree with what Cam said. Say, oh, you know what? As a point of principle, you're not going to vote them in. You're not going to give them a vote the first time or second time or whatever because we know what it is they did, right? And I'm not going to – and why I said don't do that, Cam, I'm not even gonna let the writers and let the people who getting paid high, have to go out there and with their integrity as they write. Like if I was writing this as an article, yeah, I'll say alleged, but it's not alleged. Those guys are doing what they did, but it was the game. It wasn't like they were the only ones doing it, right? And they excelled at it. So is part of that era to me is PEDs, and you don't discount them for that.
I agree. It was condoned.
One of the things that I have always said as a baseball fan, period, is when you're looking at Major League Baseball as a whole, 1994 there was a player strike. There was no there was no season, no World Series. Baseball was at its worst. 4 years later, they were interrupting live newscasts to show at-bats for Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa single-handedly saved baseball. And Bud Selig, who I think is the biggest hypocrite of all time, was an owner of the Milwaukee Brewers. And there's nothing that you can for him to say there's no way the owners knew what was going on in that locker room is the biggest slap in the face I've ever heard from anybody. Because if I have a multi-billion-dollar, product or job or business, I'm going to know what my people do. I'm going to know what people do.
They probably would get it for them.
They knew what was going on in the clubhouse, and for them to say otherwise is a lie, is a straight up lie. So as far as I'm concerned, anybody from the 1980s to early 2000s, it was part of the game.
Can I say the only thing I'll be able to say on this subject?
Yes,
I don't watch baseball. I want to completely co-sign what Steven just said. That era, Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire is like the only, and Ken Griffey is the only era of baseball I ever paid attention to outside of
and SoLo. That era doesn't exist if those guys wasn't you.
Huh?
And I agree with you, SoLo. Right? You're a casual fan, and you knew what those cats, and you knew what they were doing. And I can tell you one thing: they weren't gonna be doing that if they weren't juicing.
That's why I'm with you. I'm like, look, let them ride.
So we all agree, like the hypocrisy, for these writers to, banish players because of what was universally condoned. Like it was accepted that baseball needed these players and took whatever they could, to make the game as exciting as they could. And now you're not going to allow them into the Hall of Fame where on their own merits they belong. It's just so hypocritical. And in my eyes, like baseball wears a black eye today.
Well, so that brings me to the second round of questioning within this topic. And by the way, just so everybody knows, tomorrow morning at 9:30 in the morning on Clock Blockers, we're going to have Xavier Scruggs on to talk about this subject and more. So I'm super excited. Xavier is going to come on tomorrow morning's morning show and talk about that more. But it talks about the voting process within Major League Baseball and how all these old, I'm going to call it all these old white writers who the system is flawed to begin with. And how does Major League Baseball turn the page into allowing people like you or me or somebody else to be able to we need to wipe the slate on how we vote for the Hall of Fame and come up with a brand new thing. Like, how does that work? How do we get to the next? How do these guys get into the Hall of Fame? Because these old white writers, they're going to die off eventually.
Y'all better sign a
petition. You hit the nail right on the head right there, right? Like sports is reflective of culture, and when these theories and ideas and the ways of living and beliefs slowly die off, and more acceptance becomes integrated into our culture, you're going to see these things change. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not.
Problem is though, Cam, the writers that they're going to have to exonerate these guys, they wouldn't have lived it, man. These guys won't be as big to them. Like, this is the last generation that will see those guys as great, right? And that's the unfortunate thing. More time than
the narrative. It's the narrative, right? The writers can say the writers will have the opportunity to say their narrative, and it will get etched in history because they're the writers. So people are going to say, and so what are people of the future going to read? The writings, and that's the problem. That's part of the issue.
Right.
Here.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely right.
All right. Let's go on to the next subject. So, big breaking news happened today in the world of the NFL. Sean Payton, head coach of the New Orleans Saints, retired. I said fired. Retired. And I don't know. I didn't.
Correction. Don't do that. Don't do that, Stephen.
Go ahead.
He didn't retire.
Quit.
He didn't retire. he stepped away, and I
He
want to
stepped
make sure that's
okay,
clear, right?
okay.
That's big.
Well, I
Because
don't.
he could come back to the Saints he could come back to the Saints next year. He could come back somewhere else next year. He literally stepped away. He didn't even want to use the word retirement himself. So I won't let you go on a
What he said
soundbite
in his
say
press
that.
conference, he's taking a year off, right, to spend time with his family, to regroup at a time when the Saints are probably really low in terms of organization. The thing about Sean Payton is that he signed a 3-year extension or 5-year extension in 2019. There's 3 years remaining on it. Like if a team wants to sign him, they're going to have to give the Saints compensation.
I mean, yeah. So let's obviously talk about the impact that Sean Payton had first, and then in our second go around, we'll talk about where does he end up. Maybe is this something that could be open the door, and then we'll transition into Miami Dolphins topic. So look, as far as Sean Payton's concerned, he is the utter biggest reason that I think Drew Brees became the Hall of Famer that he became in New Orleans, because who knows where his career was going after San Diego. And we know we had an opportunity to get him, but he ended up going to New Orleans. And I think Sean Payton will go down as a top 10 head coach of all time in the NFL. I mean, does anybody disagree with that?
I think he will, because sometimes just right place, right time, and your story makes you greater, right? Like the backdrop to your story. I think when he entered New Orleans, coming in right after Katrina, right, and that city being so down, and them having that early success right away, I think if you take that away, there would be more people that would question his legacy would be more challenged, right? It would be okay. He was good. Was he great? He won with Drew. They could have questioned it, but I think that beautiful story behind he did and restoring a city, yeah, he'll go down as one of the great coaches because he has a big storyline and he had success.
Stevie said top 10 though. You got to name the other 9.
Don Shula.
Starting in order.
Shocker!
Oh my
You
God,
said
Don Shula, Bill Belichick, Andy
Reid,
Tom Landry,
Bill Walsh,
Bill Cowher.
What about Mike Tomlin? Mike Tomlin not top 10?
You're missing
Mike Tomlin, 100%
Lombardi?
Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
Lombardi?
Vince Lombardi. What are we at? 7?
Adam Gase.
What about people whose stories? That's hilarious.
Hey, did anybody say Bill Belichick?
He said I'm second.
I said Bill Belichick. I said Belichick.
Yeah, he said Belichick. Hey, what
John
about
Madden,
people whose stories
John
are? Yeah, John Madden.
Dan Reeves.
Somebody said Dan Reeves. That's all right.
Yeah, top 10 all time.
So Cam, thank you for saying that name. No, Cam, thank you. So Cam, you just highlighted my point of why I was trying to say that Sean Payton agreed he's a great coach, but why I said he would have to defend his story. Dan Reeves is an example, right? Look how good Dan Reeves was, right? But like his story wasn't as pristine. His backdrop to the things he did wasn't as great. But when you look at what that dude won, then you're like, this dude can't make it in the Hall of Fame, right? So that's the example of how I said Sean Payton
Crystal Lockus said Flores.
Helps him out.
Crystal Lockus said Flores. Y'all are
Hey,
funny.
seriously, like I think since 2015, Sean Payton has the second most amount of wins in the NFL, next to the Chiefs.
Okay.
But be careful with that though, because if you do that, you got to start talking about Mike Tomlin. And you got to talk about Mike Tomlin.
Jimmy Johnson, right? Marv Levy.
Y'all putting him over Jimmy Johnson and Mike Ditka? I think we passed 9. That's why I wanted to say this. I didn't know if he was stopping. That was my point. Y'all better pay attention to the comments. Y'all forgot Jimmy.
SoLo just
so he's top 20. He's top 20 all time.
Oh, now here's the
top 20. Damn it. Y'all suck.
Like I told you, it's the storyline.
How the first person gonna call me out on this show is SoLo.
Flip flopper.
You can't just say top 10 like that, bro.
Damn.
Hey, we got 48 viewers on this great show, the inaugural Miami Sports Music Power Hour. Hit that like button, please.
Hit that like button. What's up, man? What's up, nephew? You say hi, Uncle Steve? Oh, now you want to be quiet? That's the future of the Dolphins
I
and
don't even like to
Miami.
say that. That's on command right there.
Can I start some
on
Steven, can I start some
command.
shit about Sean Payton? Can I start
Go
some
ahead.
shit?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
Just because we're Dolphins fans, right? And you know the Dolphins always full of conspiracy theories, right? So
Mhm.
Sean Payton can't coach for anybody else on his own free will for the next 3 years. But he could come back next year if somebody gave him compensation, right? We
Yeah,
know that the fan base is split on I'm not saying this is what Jamie wants to do. I just really want to start some trouble. So let's just say we know the fan base is split on Tua, right?
yes.
And we knew that the Saints called Drew Brees when all of their quarterbacks dropped like flies,
Yes.
right? If the Dolphins did this rinse and repeat thing and it didn't work next year, meaning
Which it won't.
it just didn't work out with Tua, right? Would you get excited about Sean Payton coming out of his hiatus with Drew Brees coming out of his hiatus to try to revive the Dolphins?
Drew
Brees?
No.
No, Drew Brees is not coming back. But
Come on,
what I will say
Jamie being a real media person right now. He's finding a topic, man. He said Drew Brees.
No, Drew Brees ain't coming back. But what I will say is I think Sean Payton comes back after this coming up season. Like, I don't think he's done coaching. And I think that whoever does will be given up. And I'll be honest with you, I do think depending on what the Dolphins do here, which I don't think they're going to make the right decision personally, I think that will be the case.
This is where we are right now, bro. He already said they're not gonna make the right decision.
I mean, I've been saying that.
You know why?
We broke it down. SoLo, what have the Dolphins done in the last 25 years?
SoLo.
To show you, bro.
But Steven,
you're
saying that because
coach stuff, man. Like, I stayed away from all your shows.
Steven only saying that. Steven only saying that because he knows they're not going to hire Pep Hamilton, and that's why he's saying like,
I love Pep
they hire
Hamilton.
anybody but Pep Hamilton.
I'm telling you, if the Dolphins hired Pep Hamilton, the Dolphins would be a Super Bowl contender in the next.
Who is that? This is my first.
I thought it was Darren Rizzi or whatever. I thought it was
Darren Rizzi. I like Darren Rizzi too.
Yeah.
Hey, what if we get?
I'm not on board with either.
What if Bill Cowher wanted to come back?
No way.
He's not coming back either.
But
what if he did? Though I'm just saying, y'all talking about Drew Brees coming out of retirement.
Krista Lacus asked, do the Saints trade Kamara now? Yes. I think the Saints are going to do a total rebuild.
They got to.
Well, we got 100%. Money for him, right?
I mean, somebody said on I can't take credit for this, but somebody said on Twitter today, the last time the Dolphins traded for a running back in New Orleans with dreadlocks, it worked out pretty well for us.
It
did.
It worked out. Okay. It worked out. It was fun. The ride was fun while it lasted. Let's say it that way.
So, I mean, I would love to see Kamara in a Dolphins uniform. That'd be awesome, right?
And if you want to smoke, then let him smoke.
I vouch for that, too. Yes, 100%.
Bro, all they had to do was let Ricky smoke, bro.
Miami Sports Music's Power Hour. I got Cameron Scott. I got Jamie Bahamas. I got the Honorable SoLo D, myself, Stephen D. Let's go ahead and let's talk about, I think we'll take the rest of the time of the show, the Miami Dolphins coaching search.
DDG, you're right.
So a lot of things have happened over the last 48 hours. Brian Daboll, who looked like was a contender for our coaching, being our head coach, is now getting a second interview with the Giants.
Right now.
It was your fault. It was your fault. Word of mouth.
There's
get Ricky to retire, man.
Let me ask you all a question. Who do you all want to see as the next head coach? And the second question is that who do you think will be the next head coach? Start with Jamie Bahamas.
No, take me last. I'm about to transition. Okay.
All right, go ahead, Cameron. Just start with you, Cameron.
It's 2022, Jamie. I'm proud of you. Hey,
I see what you did there, bro.
Y'all just got that?
I did. It took me like 2 minutes to get that.
Kev, fuck you, Kev.
He's like, I'm about to transition.
All right, so the question is, who do I think and who would I like?
Yes, because there could be two different answers there. And probably will be for all of us.
The Sean Payton news honestly changes my perspective a little bit. Who do I think it'll be? I think it'll be Mike McDaniel. Who do I want it to be? Prior to Sean Payton, announcing his stepping away today, I really would still want, Doug Peterson, I think, is 1, and Jim Caldwell is 1B in my book. I think Mike McDaniel will get the job. Now, I will say, if there is any inkling of an opportunity for Sean Payton to be talked into coming to South Florida, Ross will exhaust every opportunity to that. If Sean Payton gives the notion to Ross that he'd be interested in at least talking, I think Ross will do anything he possibly can to bring Sean Payton to South Florida for one reason, and that's to build the culture of a winner.
SoLo.
I'm gonna give you like a super non-political answer, man, because I honestly don't care, bro. I'm being honest with you. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna give you the whole football talk, man. My problem is this. First of all, prior to information that I got, I was still mad about Flores being fired, only because it's the same thing. Like, all right, so like I said, even with Cristobal, I'm happy now. That was the perfect person to rebound with, but I think it was still unfair to Manny. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like the culture of, you only got 3 years to come in and make something pop. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Because like it takes a while to develop, man. It takes a while to get your system in place. It takes a while to get everything that you really want. You know what I mean? So outside of what we know now about Flores, and I know, firsthand that, most of that stuff is true. I didn't like that. So where I'm at now, because I'm really a Dolphins fan, bro. Like I'm really like from Miami. I've really been growing up like dealing with this for years. I'm kind of numb, bro. Like just whatever happens. You know what I'm saying? So like,
you have no faith in the process either.
What is the process? It's been a process my whole life, bro.
I agree with you.
I don't know what the process is anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's just, bro, like it's just y'all forget this one thing. We talk about Gase all day, right? But Gase came in and went to the playoffs in his first year. You know what I'm saying? Like people forget that. So like we thought we had some with him. Remember in Gase we trust, the shirts. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was fist pumping with Sperano. Like, bro, like I'm just numb to it. So I kind of leave that to y'all, man. Like
every time he hit a field goal, every time RIP to Sperano, but every time he hit a field goal, boy, you thought we won a Super Bowl.
I mean, bro, I like Dan Campbell when he came in.
I like Campbell too.
I'm tired of getting hyped up, man, to be honest with you, bro. I just want to see what happens on the field. I'm that's why I don't even, I'm going to answer the question, bro, but, I don't care for this part of it, bro, because I just want to see football be played on the field, all the behind-the-scenes stuff. I don't like the politics of football. It takes away my love of it. So we'll just see what happens when it comes.
All right, look, I here's what I think. I think when it's all said and done, I think that what you're going to see is Vance Joseph, I think, is going to be the head coach.
But that's Brian Flores. Like he's a defensive coordinator.
Like I didn't say that's what I wanted.
No, I'm not mad at you, but that's what I'm trying to say. You understand the insanity of what's going on right now?
Yeah.
Like that's the point. Like whoever we get got fired from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like you gave Flores a chance. He was a first-time head coach. He was putting something together. You know what I mean? Now look at somebody like Sean McVay, the youngest coach ever. Like sometimes you don't have to. Maybe it's not better to go into the bag.
And that's why Mike McDaniel's the choice, right?
Right. I'm not mad at that kind of stuff. Like the brain.
Well, all right. So again, I think the choice
yelling at you, bro.
Here's the thing on SoLo. I don't disagree with you. What I'm telling you is what I think will happen and what should happen are totally two different things. What I think will happen is the Dolphins are going to do the usual and get Vance Joseph. I could totally see Vance Joseph being the guy here. And what I want to happen is I think there's 3 or 4 different routes they can go. I would love to see them call the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, what do you want for Mike Tomlin? I'll trade for Mike Tomlin. Now that Payton,
man, keep going. Sorry,
I would love to see them try to go out to Payton and say, "Hey, Payton, is there a guy we can bring in for a year? Do you want to take the year off? Is there like a backdoor deal?" The second thing I would love to see them do is go after Doug Peterson, Jim Caldwell. Anybody for the most part. I like Leslie Frazier. I know a lot of people don't like him. I like Frazier.
So Steven, let me ask you this, right? Why you like?
Well, because I have said that the minimum, bare minimum, which is why if Vance Joseph gets hired, I won't be 100% mad at it. I just think that's what the Dolphins will do, and he's not even in my top 5. But I think the minimum, you have to have been a head coach. I think in order to be successful in the NFL now, to have an opportunity to win for a Super Bowl, to contend for a Super Bowl, I think I need to see a coach that's been a head coach somewhere else and failed.
That's because what you
want? Because you learn from your mistakes. So we're not going to get a first-time head coach who's going to make rookie mistakes or first-time head coach mistakes. The guy's already done that somewhere else. So now he's going to come in and say, you know what, I'm going to be a head coach here. You know, I know what not to do because what I did last time didn't work. And here's what I would do if I had a second chance. And this is
I think there's another way to go around that, right? I buy that. I buy that argument. That's a sane argument, right?
First of all, shout out to Jamie getting his video on so we can see my dog head now.
Boy, look at that bald head, boy. That thing.
Look, you got the light on it and all. Like,
hey, Jamie's live at the VIP room.
You got that thing shining, boy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah. No, that's a sane argument you got, right? Like bringing in a guy that failed so he won't make the same rookie mistakes, and I get that, right? But my thing with some of these, like, is only certain set of old head coaches that I'm okay with, and those old head coaches, to me, they were already ahead of their time. Like Andy Reid succeeded coming in when he got the job at Kansas City was because the dude was already a wackadoodle coach. Like the stuff he was doing in Philly was already things people weren't doing, right? So he still thrives in this type of event in the NFL today, right? If you bring in somebody, I still think you need that new mind, that young mind. But what that person has to be smart enough to be is what Flores wasn't. Flores had an ego. When they brought in Caldwell, I thought that was smart as hell because you got a new coach, and to your point, you got somebody who's been there, failed in his ear. Like, hey, you can't, like, you shouldn't talk to people this way, or hey, I've seen this problem before. This is how we handle it. Hey,
doing this, right? Taking that advice, Jamie. Flores wasn't taking that advice,
and that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. But you could bring in a guy. You could bring in another first-time guy because Flores. Don't get me wrong. From a X's and O's, from a coaching standpoint. Like you could see he could coach up a defense, right? He could put together a team. It's just as hard. I mean, all the flaws that we're hearing about him, right? If he was able to listen and have somebody who was been there before to say, yo, this shit ain't gonna fly. Like these players are really gonna punch you in the mouth one day if you keep this up. Right?
But that was Flores' problem. So whoever they bring in this time, I'd like to say common sense would be used, but the Dolphins have never used common sense. So I mean, that should be the common sense.
You're reading the comments, bro.
Person, boy.
They talk about your head, bro. Hey,
look, I'll shine your head
for a nickel. That's where that knowledge be shining off of, man. When you see this shit start to glow, that means I'm about to drop some real serious shit, man.
If Bahamas grows a goatee, then we got Flores 2.0.
Hey, y'all wild in the comments, bro.
I'll be the better Flores, yo.
Cameron, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Listen, we talked about this, right? Like it's a different player they're coaching, right? It's a different locker room. You got to have a coach that's more in tune with today's culture, right? What's the interest of these players that they're drafted out of college? It's different from what Belichick and his tree of coaches experienced when they were growing up, right? Mm-hmm. That's why you've got Sean McVay, you've got the guy in San Francisco, you know, having success because I think they communicate well with these the new
Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan.
Thank you for saying Sean McVay because he's probably about to go to the Super Bowl. All right, so that's
he might damn well win the damn thing.
Yeah, but so let's talk about Mike McDaniel for a second. My biggest problem with McDaniel, and by the way, I could be 100% wrong, but my biggest problem with McDaniel is is he really the offensive coordinator there? Is he the one calling the plays during the game, right? And B, if you're looking at it from the standpoint of what the Dolphins are going to do, you bring in somebody like Mike McDaniel, is he going to be able to bring in a coaching staff that is able to help him in the areas where he's not efficient in?
The timeout. What the hell's up with SoLo?
SoLo's laughing at the comments because somebody said Megamind and Brainiac.
Hey, SoLo's just getting exposed to those comments.
Said, you can't talk to people that way, Esther.
Hey,
I'm gonna stop comments up, man.
SoLo.
That boy's head like a headlight.
You know,
Hey, real talk.
Comments, right?
Solo, the comment section is its own show. And it's already happened 45 minutes in.
Hey, I'm gonna stop looking at it, bro. Y'all gonna have me rolling the whole time.
What, the comments or his head?
Strawberry.
I ain't stopped yet, bro. Oh Lord, bro. All right, I'm good.
No, you're not.
See you putting them on the screen.
Bring him back, man. Bring him back to the show, man.
Jamie, you go, Jamie, because I can't.
What the fuck are we talking about now? I have no clue what the fuck we're talking about.
As
right?
a fellow balding man, Bahamas is planning everyone's murder right now.
Oh, we got to keep this going.
Bro, but Jamie,
why Jamie? Jamie's going to be like,
is literally shining off your head, bro.
Jamie's going to be like, I'm an island boy. I'm a bald head boy. I'm a bald head boy. I'm a bald head boy.
We dropping that remix. We dropping that remix with Solo D, man.
I'm a bald head boy.
Bro, the light is really shining up for it, bro. I swear it looked like you shining before you came on, bro.
And it's funny because I was mad at Jamie earlier. I'm like, how you not going to be in your studio ready for the beginning of the show? And now I'm like, bro, we need some sunglasses on, bro.
You can't bring your show back? You can't bring it back?
I can't. You know, the show's gone off the rails. Unbelievable.
Oh,
Solo can't stop laughing.
They keep going, bro. Look at the comments. I'm gonna cut it off, bro. Hold on, let me cut the comments off.
That boy said milk done.
Oh shit.
And it's the OGs too. That's the fucking fun.
We're gonna be texting each other. So yeah, that was a great first show.
Hey, Jamie gonna be the star, bro.
He said Eddie Murphy.
Yo, Cap for life. Fuck you, man.
That wasn't even Cap. Well, Cap said milk done. Outside the cube said Eddie Murphy.
Oh my Lord.
Mr. Miami 305, you made it, brother. Nice.
Trey said he know who the next coach is, bro.
No,
Me?
Don't
They
nobody
said
know
Jamie
who
know who
that
the
is.
coach is.
Yeah.
You can see into the future with a head like that.
Now you know where all the great ideas be coming from.
What does he say? If Jamie was in the army, he'd have to salute like this. Yes, sir. Jamie ain't got a 4-head. He's got a 5-head. I bet you when you dream, you don't really have dream. You have movies.
Hey, Jamie, you're old enough to remember. Hey, Jamie, you're old enough to remember.
You're going to take all 5 of them.
Hey, outside to say, he said heads or heads.
Right,
I tell you what, don't.
All right, man, y'all get off my dog.
Don't ask Matt Stafford because he gonna pick tails. Who the hell calls tails? Who the hell calls
Jamie, y'all
tails?
get off my dog.
Jamie, man, we love you.
That's why he ain't have his camera on this whole time, man. Y'all stop playing with my dog.
Jamie ain't never gonna put the camera on again, ever. And I can't even get mad at him now.
Oh Lord.
Oh, we'll see.
Like, why you talk me into this shit, bro? Nah, Jamie a legend, bro, for real.
And I'm not even fucking drinking tonight for this shit, right?
I'm like, no swear jar tonight, none. I didn't say nothing about no head jokes though. Hey, Mark Jones says he's a head of the game. Y'all coming out with
No, I'm telling you, they ain't stopped yet, bro. Y'all ain't even read all of them.
We just started with everybody's trying to top the next one. I'm sitting here just reading them too, cracking up.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh my
Man,
God.
shit, bro.
Okay, all right, real quick. Let's talk about the games this weekend real quick. We got a few more minutes. Let's talk about the games coming up. Rams, 49ers, and Cincinnati and Kansas City. Oh, wow!
You damn wrong, bro.
You wrong for that, Cameron.
What I miss?
Show it again.
The kazoo. The great kazoo.
Frank Mendez said headhunter.
But Steven probably don't even know what the fuck who kazoo is.
I do know who kazoo is, you old motherfucker.
Bro, F Defense called the man too short, bro. He said blow the whistle, bro.
Listen.
I'm about to log off, bro.
No,
What?
You wait, Steven, you getting ahead of yourself, man.
All right.
All right. Real quick, let's talk about the games this weekend. 49ers, Rams. Who do y'all got and why? Real quick, go around the horn. We'll start with Jamie.
Easy. I picked the Rams before the season started, so going with the Rams.
Solo D.
I said that Matthew Stafford was good as a Lion. So if you're good as a Lion, you're good anywhere.
That's true. You ain't
we never got to find that out with Mega trying to bury Sanders, but you're right, bro.
You're
He
100%
made it
right
out,
about
man.
that.
He
All right,
made it
so
out.
Solo, Rams, 49ers.
I got Niners, bro.
Really? Why?
They got that dog in them, bro. It's like
Mhm.
I called it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I bet on them yesterday too, and like they got a dog in them, bro. Like they're a little hotter. They seem a little more hungry. Not that the Rams aren't hungry, but I don't know. I'm I go off emotion, bro. Like I got the Niners, bro.
You think momentum is a big thing when it comes to like football, and they have the momentum right now.
And I tell you this too, from knowing California, right? That's a rivalry in itself, man. The Bay versus LA, like North versus South, that's about to be big right there. So the Bay
You know the other problem too, you nailed it too, though, Solo. You know the other problem there too, right? Is the Rams didn't really have a good fan base, like a good fan following, right?
Exactly.
And they could be at risk of, even though this is in their building.
Didn't they sell all their tickets?
Game for them, man.
Didn't they sell all their tickets the last week of the season to 49ers fans?
Probably, and they probably.
I heard they blocking 49ers fans from coming down right now.
They are. They're blocking 49ers fans. If you try to make a ticket order by your zip code, they block you.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's some hating ass. You know what? That's some hating ass shit.
Hey,
49ers, Rams.
So you know, Steven, I got on your show before the playoffs started, and I told you the 49ers going to the Super Bowl.
You did.
I did.
Why you said that because they had the Dolphins draft pick?
No. Yeah,
I know,
it's
right?
getting worse and worse. No, because I'm a stat head, right? Like they've got the only team left in the top 10 in defense and scoring offense and scoring defense. But not only that, and even Sean Payton said at his news conference today, they were like last year's Buccaneers. They are coming together and peaking at the right time. As Solo said, they got momentum. They got the dog in them. They got Debo, who is unmatched. And as long as they can limit Jimmy G's mistakes, I can't see the Rams beat them. I mean, listen, just not 2 months ago, they whooped the Rams 31-10.
Yeah, but here's the thing too, Cam, though. Here's what I saw too, right? I was telling somebody we were talking about we were talking about earlier in the season, talking about how the AFC couldn't get their shit together, but the NFC had so many good teams, and who you picking up the NFC? And I said, you know what? You're right. The problem with that now is going to be, though, the AFC is probably still going to win the Super Bowl because these dogs in the NFC are going to be beating each other up. And I don't know if you looked at the end of that game in San Fran. You had Kittle limping off the field. I know he's going to play, and I know he's fine. But
last week
in the game, that means that dude was feeling something. You got Debo limping off the field, so you know he's feeling something. Garoppolo isn't 100%, so he's feeling something, right? So it's just at some point, and you got the Rams coming in. The Rams are a complete team. Like, people forget that you already had the top receiver in there. You had, like, I already brought up Stafford. Their defense ain't no joke, and you added to it. To me, like, I know you said like San Fran is doing what last year Tampa Bay did. I agree with that from a momentum standpoint, but from a team build standpoint, the Rams just did what Tampa Bay did last year by putting all the right pieces together. Right? Tell me a weak part of their team. There's no weakness in the Rams right now. They're going to beat them.
The Rams defense is stout. I don't disagree with you, but just the 49ers are firing on all cylinders. Where I don't think you could say that about the Rams. Right?
I'm gonna say I think
especially
it's
that kicker.
I'm gonna say the Rams are gonna beat the 49ers. All right, let's go to the AFC real quick. Bengals.
Hold on. We're gonna do this every week. Make sure you document this because I want my credit next week. All right.
Yeah.
49ers, or excuse me, Bengals and Chiefs. We'll start with Cameron this time.
I can't see the Bengals going into Kansas City and beating the Chiefs. Plain and simple. Solo D.
Same thing Cam said. Like, I think it's gonna be a good game, but Chiefs know what they have.
Jamie,
I got a question for you, Steven. Right? What weakness do you see in the Chiefs right now?
I mean, their defense.
Right? And that's the only thing I see. I agree with you, right?
Yeah.
But the funny thing about their defense, right?
They can turn it on at any minute.
Exactly. They have veteran guys like the Honey Badger out there, right? Even when they're getting beat up.
He might be out though.
Yeah, he might be out, but concussion protocol. He might be out, but when they're getting beat up, right? Those guys make that 1 or 2 plays just enough for them to be in it, right? So that's their only weakness. What weaknesses do you see with the Bengals?
A lot. Offensive line. Their quarterback got sacked 9 times, and they still won.
But that says something though.
Special teams suck.
That says their O-line sucks, Solo.
Yeah, to get out of that like that.
They do have the best kicker, though.
I can tell you right now, they're not going to beat Kansas City the same way.
And that's where I'm landing.
Nah, yeah. Tennessee got exposed.
They have too many flaws to come out of this. But you know what scares me? Can I segue that just to tie it back to like as a Miami situation?
Yeah, we got to hurry up though.
It kind of sucks, man, to watch Cincinnati like put it together that quickly because
with Zach Taylor, no less.
Yeah,
with Zach Taylor, our quarterback coach, no less.
Now you understand why I don't care who the next coach is, bro. I just want to see what happens when we get on the field.
Yeah, I feel you there. Because they're not going to
right there.
All right, look, real quick. I want everybody to go around, promote your social media. We'll start with Jamie. Go ahead, Jamie.
I am Jamie. You can find me at the biggest head, shiniest head in the world at Twitter.
The Black Mr. Clean in this bit.
Black Mr. Clean. I like it.
No, but on a real note, everybody that's in the comments, man, you guys, I love you guys. It's been fun. It's been a fun show. Come hit me up. Keep bringing the jokes. Keep bringing the same type of energy. I interact with people all day, every day. Enjoy this type of shit. So all love there. So find me at the Jamie Bahamas. Let's keep it running. We could do this all week until the next show comes around, okay?
Cameron
954 on all your social media platforms, man. I appreciate y'all. You guys make it so much fun over there in the comment box, man, day in and day out. I know we had our fun this morning, and this was awesome tonight. I look forward to next Tuesday night.
The Miami Sports Music Power Hour. I'm Stephen D, and you can find me at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Please hit that like button, share, and donate. If you guys could donate, all the donations go to helping this channel grow. So if you're able to donate, whether it's here, if you look in the description, you can see PayPal and Cash App. You can donate there too. But we'd love to have you part of the family. Donate to the channel, help it grow. And I'm gonna let the man, the myth, the legend, the honorable Solo D close this out.
Wait, Solo, I gotta steal like 2 minutes of your time. I said keep this shit going on Twitter. These dudes are still going off in the chat.
That's what I was gonna leave it alone.
Jamie, that's not at 7:30.
Look, he said I head out now. Flip side. I was trying not to
You guys have a book. You have a book where you just waiting for this shit? Like what the hell?
Well, they was waiting, son.
Hey man,
by the way,
camera on, bro. This show wouldn't have been what it was.
I do want to remind y'all before I let Solo close us out tomorrow morning, Clap Blockers, 9 a.m. Make sure you check us out. We got a big show lined up for you. We got Xavier Scruggs and we got David DeWart to talk Panthers as well at 10 a.m. We got a big show. And then it'll be Wildin' Out and Mortal Kombat Wednesday. So it'll be a crazy panel tomorrow after those two guys. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Talking about Mortal Kombat?
No, Mortal Kombat Wednesdays is where the debate happens, man. People want to fight each other.
Solo, if you've never seen that,
no. I'm the one that told him to keep that going. He won't tell y'all that, but he was just playing with it the first day. And I was like, hey, bro, you better keep that going.
It's crazy.
But yeah, anyway, man, Miami Sports Music or at Solo D Music. I don't have no long ass outro. Y'all know I'm not too much with this, man. God bless everybody. Stay safe. Don't let nobody steal your joy away. You know what I'm saying? And it's DWA. So it ain't nothing else to do. You know what I mean? And it's going down like that, man. We out.
All right, y'all be good. We'll see y'all next week right here on the Miami Sports Music Power.